Hello, folks. Welcome to the Fight Game. He's Icewater. I'm Puma, and the Fight Game is sponsored by Rayon Cognac. Join the movement, and you can check out the ticker under us right here. If you want to contact Rayon Cognac and get some great cognac, www.rayoncognac.com. And man, we had a few fights, and I'm going to start it off. I know we're going to talk about the fight last week with Ammo Williams and Adonis, but Fedor and Keith Thurman. And I said this to you, you laughed earlier, but are we sure Fedor is 154? Because he's really big, man, and he handled Thurman like a kid, man, like he was a kid in the ring, man. Like I'm fighting one of my nephews, and I'm just towering over him and just putting that jab. And I have to say this, he really improved as a fighter because when he first started, he acted like he was the same size as every fighter and started working on body work. Thought he was Berto Duran or whatever. But you see him now using that jab, being more disciplined. And Thurman said after the fight, "Oh, I was getting ready to, to turn it around. Dude, you look like you had a Zorro mask on, man. I mean, I thought the ref should have stopped it earlier than that, man. He was, touching you up. And I'm just wondering if Fedor needs to go up in weight or if they're really checking the weight of this dude. I mean, he's too tall, bro. I saw it with Tim Tszyu. I haven't just said it now. I said it with Tim Tszyu, man. It was like, there was no way that he's going to beat these. They're not going to beat him, man. He got too much. It's like a little heavyweight, man, in there with these little guys, man. It's embarrassing, bro. It's really embarrassing, man. What else to say? And then everybody talk about, oh, I can take him. I go, no, you can't, man. No, you can't. Him putting that mitt in your, he's standing there. You know how when you're playing with your nephews or little cousins and you put your hand on their head and they just swinging? That's what it looks like, bro. That's what it looks like. Help me out with this, man.
You want to know why is it that this man has been boxing and everybody when he came in, he was always 6'5.5". He didn't grow, right? He always been 6'5.5" when he entered. He's the same weight, he was lanky. He was more unorthodox when he was swinging like this and acting like he was real small when he fought Erickson Lubin, right? Everybody's like, well, you keep going into that phone booth, you're gonna get knocked out. You can't wait to see it. Then he fights another guy. Then he beats Tim Tszyu in that bloody mess at first. Then they rematch and he wins that. He start looking better. Then the great Thurman comes in and says what he's going to do. And Thurman held his own when it was his time. And he's coming back to say what he's going to do to this towering person, this tower, and he's going to take him down. What Thurman forgot or didn't realize is this man has been improving, right? So 6'5.5", 80-inch reach,
Yeah.
right? 80-inch reach. So he wasn't playing. And his left hand, he got a straight left hand that putting people to shame. From the first round when he caught Thurman, you could tell it was going to be a problem. He almost dropped Thurman in the second round. And then the thing about it, instead of going into that phone booth, now they're teaching him how to box a little bit, and he kept his distance, which made it even harder for Thurman to get inside. But he battered him, continued to batter him, and by these rocking him, and by the end of the fifth round, you're like, oh man, he's in trouble. And as you move to the sixth round, right when before they stopped it, the first couple punches that Fundora landed, you could still start to see Thurman's face start to just start bruising up and blowing up and swelling up. And he just continued to punish him in the fifth round where Thurman was throwing no punches. And Thurman has a lot of heart. He's older. He's been out of the ring for a while. But the way he's talking and kept running his mouth like he was going to handle this young guy, and Fedor is for real.
Yeah.
I mean, he takes it seriously, and I don't know why instead of just giving the man his due from getting better, that everybody want to send him to heavyweight. If the man can make 154 at 6'5.5", let him make it. And they stopped the fight, and the ref did Thurman a favor. So
Oh yeah.
all I'm saying is watching Fundora from the beginning, right? Coming up and going, oh man, he's huge. Now all of a sudden, because he's good and getting better and dominating a future Hall of Fame fighter that's older, now we want to say something wrong that like he illegal or something. I mean, what? Don't do that. Thomas Hearns was 140, was 6 foot 147. As I told you before, Vernon Forrest was a tall fighter at 147. This guy's 6'5.5", but he's a hell of a fighter. He's coming up. Don't penalize him for being good now.
Okay.
That's not fair. He ain't testing positive for no drugs. He ain't on that no smack or snack or whatever
On that shit.
knick knack
Yeah.
patty whack. I'm just saying,
So
don't penalize that man.
here's my thing. I never really took Fedor seriously because
I
I thought
know.
he was a novelty act. I mean, you don't see too
Yes.
many fighters that of his stature that really kind of make it. And now you see him taking it seriously, and you see the beating he put on Keith Thurman. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is only going to get better. And it reminds me of when Keith Thurman was talking all that trash to Pacquiao, and Pacquiao put him away. And so I think Keith Thurman maybe realizes that this is the end for him. There's not going to be any. I mean, he didn't show anything that would get him another fight that will make him some more money because that was a pay-per-view fight last night. Don't think it should have been a pay-per-view fight. And the way he performed, I don't think he's going to get any more pay-per-view fights. He'll be fighting on, the other channels that, it's not required for you to pay for. But I was sitting there looking at it and I was looking at his face. And now you got Carissa Shields talking smack to Thurman. I mean, it's like, and I told you this offline. Thurman didn't do himself a favor. He was on a show with Andre Ward and Roy Jones Jr. And he was telling his strategy. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? You get ready to go into the fight. Why are you telling them your strategy? Why are you telling them what weaknesses you see in a guy? You don't think they watch the same show and want to see what what you're gonna do? And it's like he had no strategy. He could not get in. He was throwing some kind of wild right, got caught with the other, hand down. It's like it looked like amateur hour. And it looked like again, it looked like when Rocky was fighting Drago the first time, and you could see the stature. Sylvester Stallone is very short compared to this guy, and I was like, wow, it doesn't even seem fair. And it's like, why are we watching this? Why are we watching this beating at this particular time? And to get in a press conference and say, hey, I was about to turn it around, when they stopped the fight. No, you should have turned it around 4 rounds earlier, man, because the ref kept telling you, show me something, show me something. And they're not going to let you take that punishment. You're an older fighter, you're light skinned, all those bruises are going to show much more prevalent in you than whether or not you're dark skinned. And it just looked bad. He looked bad. He looked like he was wearing a Zorro mask right here. And it was all painted here. And Fedor was accurate. I would like to see the accuracy rate, how he was tagging him in his head with the jabs and that left cross. That was bad, bro. That was really bad.
I mean, it's true, but Fondora's getting better. As you said, you thought he was a novelty act. I
I
tried to
really
tell
did.
you.
I'm sorry. I thought you were a novelty act. You'd be in for a couple of years and then you go off and do something else, play soccer or something. I don't know.
No, he's like, my name is not Jake Paul. I don't know what don't try to put me in the same classification because he said I'm here a real fighter. So with that being said, it was interesting, and I'm happy for him because he put a lot of work in. You can tell he and his dad, also his sister's a world champion. So with that being said, it's amazing. I'm happy for him, and he seemed like a good dude, man. And one of the things he did say when you watching one of the post interviews, they asked him about going into his 30s. He said, "I'm not gonna be here long. I'm going to fight early 30s, and the way the boxing is, and he referenced the clown show and the exhibitions. He said, "Man, I ain't got time for that." He said, "I come here to win, fight the best guys, make my legacy what it is, and I'm out."
Yeah.
Kind of like we hope Usyk does the same thing, right? Not stay too much longer. He deserves that to walk away like Crawford did. Certain times you just need to get out the way. That's why I think we're seeing now, as you said before, some other fights are coming up that are being forced because people were tired of these fake negotiations or these, and they want real fights.
All right. The other fight last weekend, the World Championship fight, I believe it was a middleweight division between Adamas and Williams. We saw that fight last week. We did not come on. We've been off for a little while because not really anything happening in boxing. And it was a 12 round decision. And Ammo Williams fought in January. He's supposed to fight Adamas in January. That fight got postponed. And it kind of showed that he wasn't ready for this particular challenge at this particular time. He got put down in the second round. And I kind of saw that he wasn't really showing any head movements or slipping punches because he gave Adamas a target to hit all night. I think they scored him as winning one round, and I have to say he's a tough cookie because he was swinging in there and trying to make the best of a bad situation. And so hopefully, and I'll say this with all honesty, I felt like the guy in the corner with him wasn't giving any strategy and wasn't helping him out. What's your take on the fight?
Yeah, we talked about Williams before, and then also the factor that he had to go through because he was expecting to fight a better challenger in the Diamonds the first time, right? We saw that fight, and he did what he had to do to get through. But as I told you before, when you look at the resume of Adamas, he fought some quality fighters. He's been in the ring with some tough guys. I think he might actually try to go for a title or close to it. He's been in the ring with some guys that have held titles or been close to it. And I think not the factor that Amo Williams is not really, he does not talented enough. I think he just needs more experience. And I think he did real well to do what he had to do to come up so early. But I think he needs to go back into the gym now. Now that you know what it's like to be against a cagey veteran, somebody that really knows, has been in those wars or doing something to a point where you change a little style, not changing everything, but tweaking your approach. Because now when you step up in levels, there's levels to this game, right? When you step in levels, you got to be ready to deal with all kind of things. That's why some of the best things, the best fighters are called what we call technicians. So one trick ponies are guys that do, they're boxers that follow the same routine no matter what, and they can't change. They can't not make in fight adjustments. Okay. But if you're a technician, you say, okay, well, he's coming in over here this way to the right. He's doing this or hitting me in the body. I need to counteract that some kind of way. So your corner helps you make those changes. And they say, well, we see this. What's he doing now? Oh, yeah, okay. He's expecting this. So they make changes, kind of in-game changes, if you will, in order to help you succeed or give you a better chance at the fight. And that's why it's so important to have a technician. And I think as you mentioned, Williams just needs to continue to work through, get more work, maybe take a couple fights where he can really work on the craft and improve on that. So the next time that he gets a major shot, he's ready. And I think that's the only thing wrong with him. Just think he needs to kind of get a little bit more experience and then build himself up where he's comfortable in his new style or whatever he's doing. Maybe with a new trainer or at least some tweaking, and then he may be ready to handle business the next time.
Yeah, I spoke to his aunt, and she's in his camp, and she was saying he has a great attitude after this bout that he's ready to get the work in. Now he sees what he needs to work on, and hopefully he can work on those things and get right back in there because I think he's a hell of a fighter. He's definitely tough enough to be in there, and I have to say this, and I'll take the blame for this. The corner man in there, we were listening to every round. He didn't seem like he was giving him any strategy to kind of help him out in that championship bout. And maybe the corner man didn't have that much experience in that. But holla at your boy. We got folks that could help you out with that. So we'll work on that if you want us to work on that. Any other boxing news?
Yeah, it seems as if we're going to have a real fight, something that matters in the junior middleweight, right? Division. Xander Zayas, who's a WBO and WBA champion in junior middleweight at 154, same way with Fedor, right? Has signed to fight Jerron Boots Ennis. So major fight. The thing about Zayas, he's not afraid. He's a young fighter. He said he wants all the smoke. Now we were thinking Virgil Ortiz would step into the ring with Boots Ennis, but with all the negotiations or failed negotiations with Golden Boy and all that other mess, Boots said he was moving on. So what better way than to go after two more belts with a champion like Zayas, who's young and hungry and said he wants to prove to the world that he's the real deal. And hey, no better way to prove that than to face a guy like Boots Ennis. So looking forward to that in the future because hey, top-notch guys in the division, and maybe depending on what you do, Fedora might be waiting on you next.
It ain't fair. It ain't fair. Uh, here's what I want to say, and you and I talked about this. Brian Garcia, a lot of other these young guys who, really not pay-per-view kind of guys. Quit talking about Crawford like you're gonna whoop his behind. You know he's retired. You know that he's not gonna step down and come and fight you. Don't talk big and bad about I'd whip him, I'd do this. Everybody knows you're looking for a payday. Everybody knows that you're trying to get a name on your notch. You know the man's retired. He just had shoulder surgery, and he had that. You Canelo folks, Canelo complaining about, hey, I was hurt, I wasn't 100%. Neither was Terrence Crawford. So what's your excuse now? So quit trying to call this guy out. He's done what he's going to do. He's not really interested in the money, as he says. He's interested in legacy. Why would he come step down from the top of the hill and come down to the pastures and fight somebody like you? So stop it. Fight the people that are there now. Fight the people. Earn your spot. Don't try to get points off bragging, putting it in social media and all that other stuff. That's kind of like that's weak to me. To write a tweet or something like that, trying to fight back and forth. You can't beat him. Like you said earlier, he couldn't even beat Raleigh. So what makes him think he could beat Terrence Crawford? You have any words with this?
Yeah, I agree with that 100% because now we heard a lot of talk. We heard the older guys talk. We heard the younger guys talk. Keith Thurman talking. Oh, if I would have fought Mayweather back in the day, I would have done this. As they say, you wouldn't have done shit. We can only go off where we at right now, okay? So do what you need to do. Keep them. You want to come back and whatever. But yeah, we're just tired of talking. It's time for people to get in the ring, right? Say what you want to about Shakur Stevenson and him running his mouth, whatever, talking stuff. But he did get in there, and they still trying to figure out like why the pyramids were there. They can't explain how those, so they make stuff up about them. So the same way with why Shakur was dominant in his last fight against Teofimo. So it's bizarre. It's bizarre more than anything. But all I'm gonna say, one last thing, if I can, on this, on period in general, is yo, Floyd, Midwest, bro. You know I love you. You my guy. I saw you fight 10 times in person. Always got love for you, Floyd, in the boxing ring. Okay. Nobody asked you to be perfect, but in the boxing ring. But I also noticed too that Floyd was scheduled to fight Manny Pacquiao in a real fight in the fall coming up in Las Vegas. And they caught up with Floyd at one of the fights in Las Vegas recently. And Floyd said, oh yeah, we're gonna still fight, but it's gonna be an exhibition now. Floyd, like, y'all crazy as hell. I'm not gonna get my ass. Take that punishment no more. He said, I'll fight anybody in the exhibition. He's also talking about still fighting Mike Tyson in the exhibition. Again, exhibition. He said, I'm not fighting for real anymore. It's an exhibition. I'd rather see exhibition like that than watch somebody else trying to come back and fool you again. So, Floyd, kudos to you for realizing when your time is up. Quit trying to prove stuff to people that you don't have to. Keep fighting as many exhibitions as you want, as long as people keep paying for it, and you can be on Netflix. I don't think you've been on Netflix yet, but if you can be on Netflix and you keep exhibitions and people want to still see you, get your money. I'm not mad at that. But I just said I noticed that you went from, oh yeah, real fight to hell with that. It's gonna be an
Yeah,
exhibition.
he presents it as a real fight when it first comes out, and then he goes
Yeah,
back and say exhibition. So
yeah. Hey, but you know what? I ain't mad at that. The man knows. He ain't trying to get beat up. He ain't trying to get cut. Hey, he did his time. And he was pretty much unscathed. Why you going there now? Tell me this. Is he gonna get more money for the real fight more than the exhibition?
probably not.
Know what I'm saying? So what the hell are we doing? You got what else you got to prove? It's
Yeah,
Floyd.
true, true.
Oh, anyway, if you don't like it, don't watch it.
No, I won't be. One more fight that happened last night in the UFC. Israel fought Joe Pyfer and lost in a second round KO, TKO. He's lost the last 5 of his 6 fights. And what I saw last night is a fighter who may need to kind of put the gloves down right now because he's getting hurt unnecessarily. I think fighters have caught up to his particular style and what he likes to do. And Pfeiffer is one of these up and coming guys. And so maybe the UFC wanted to bring out a big name for this middleweight championship, or not championship, but a middleweight fight to get viewers. And it just didn't work. It didn't work. And to see him be that star at one particular point and to see what he is now, something is gone or lost, so that he doesn't have that anymore. And to lose 5 fights in a row, I don't know. I don't know whether or not he should be in that octagon.
I agree with you 100%. But even deeper than that, my question is, as a fan and as a member of the media as well as this, why the hell is UFC continuing to feature him on the card?
Yeah,
Dana White already talking about John Jones and he can't take him seriously because he's not going to show up. You don't know what John Jones is going to show up. But you put Israel on five different bouts when you seriously can see his skills declining. What the hell are we talking about? We're to the point where that last fight, with his last fight, he quit. He just turned over. But yet you're featuring him. How about developing new talent as you had there before? Let's feature that because now you keep bringing Israel back 5 times. Each time he appears to be declining. So you're giving us that, and you want to make it pay per view? Come on, Dana. You moving that? Are people that damn sad and sad today and suckers that they buy anything now when
they're
he's not gonna give full effort? Now you got to bring back the Lioness because you ain't got nobody else to showcase. Are you that focused on boxing? You had to go get some real money because you running out of good shows to present. Like you said, Ronda Rousey said it best. She goes, you stiffen the fighters. Some of them that are not top notch don't have enough money to pay for to live and pay for things. But yet you're not giving them the money and you're not developing in the fighters. So you're bringing out some of the older fighters because you running out of shows, bruh. And maybe that's why you went to boxing
yeah.
part time.
Alexa Grasso won her fight. The fights were very short last night, so she won in the first round, KO, TKO. So it's a lot of people are noticing that the UFC is just not what it used to be, and it's declining. And there was a point where we were talking about the UFC was rivaling boxing, and they're just dropping off year after year after year to where boxing is still going strong and going steady, but the UFC, if you don't pay your fighters, they're not going to stick around. They're not going to see the worth in this. So we'll see. He's Icewater. I'm Puma. This is the fight game.